All right, let's start it right away. Same rules as with others. I am in a fresh Git clone, and I'm just gonna say Claude. And as usual, deploy this to Railway. Let's see. Okay, so it's asking me what I want to do with this GitLab source tree. So I want a running GitLab instance. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's telling me that the Revo is a poor fit and that Hetzner or EC2 is better. That's honest. Let's try with a running GitLab instance. I want to fully test it. Okay, found the only viable path. This is the price. Okay, it cannot get over SSH, but it can do that over HTTPS only. That's fine. I mean, in the end, I just want this working. Like, every platform is different, so I don't want to say I need SSH to work. I just want functionality to work in the end. Alright, so it failed, but it's because I was on trial. I wasn't on hobby plan, which was $5 a month. So I just upgraded my account and I will try to do it now. Okay, so it actually told me how to upgrade, even if I did. So I'm just gonna say I upgraded and wait. Alright, so I think it wants me to go to this project and to manually allow this. So let's do that. Because it don't want to do that over MCP. So let's try that here. So I need to click deploy, right? Max size of 5 GB. Please select the valid size or upgrade. Okay, I'm just gonna click on deploy and it doesn't want to do that. Let me see. Okay, it wants me to edit this, but when I click on here, it doesn't allow me to type anything. So I'm not sure what to do here. So I'm gonna go and tell it, can you do it? Alright, so it looks like it managed to do it. So let's try it. So I'm gonna go and copy this and go here. Okay, so it managed to do it. Let's make an account. So I'm gonna type here. Okay, save. So I need to approve this. Let's go and ask the agent to do it. So I'm gonna say here, can you go to that GitLab deployment and approve my new account? Let's see if Railway is able to do this. All right, it took a little bit of time, but it should work now. So let's see if I sign in. Okay, it works. Now let's try to add Supabase fork to it. So I will go to my agent and I'm gonna say, can you add a Supabase fork to that private GitLab? Let's see if it's able to do it. Okay, so it's asking me what to add there. I want the Supabase full monorepo. Okay, so it needs something called repository by URL, which is off by default. I'm just gonna tell it to enable it and to import it. All right, it looks like it's live. Let's check it. So I think it made the same mistake as on other platforms too, but let's see. Yeah, it added it to a root project, not to the this redu project that I wanted. So I'm just gonna go to the agent and tell it I want it on redu user, not on root user. All right, it actually managed to do this. So let's go and refresh the page. Yes, we can see it here. It's in personal Supabase. All right, perfect. Now let's try to deploy it. So I'm gonna say use that private fork and deploy it on Railway. Let's see if it can manage to do this. All right, so we have a choice here. To make it fair, I'm gonna go with full self-host stack because that's what I did on other platforms too. So that's my choice. Okay, so it's asking me how I want to deploy this full Supabase stack. I want from this fork. 10 services running. Okay, proceed. Submit answers, and let's go. Okay, so here we got into a blocker. So the main purpose I wanted GitLab to be private is because I didn't want my code or anything else to be on a third-party software. So Railway here is forcing me either to go to Docker Hub or GitHub, and I kind of do not want that. For the sake of this video and to make it fair, like to not make Railway lose on capabilities, I will do this. However, this wasn't the purpose of the video, so in my eyes, it kind of failed on the purpose that I wanted to achieve. I will go with Docker Hub and I will give it that access token. Okay, so it just asked me to give it my Docker access token and my username, and I did it. Right, so now we have a choice. How do we want to deploy this? So here's the thing, like, I mean, if I just wanted to use Supabase, I do believe that options 2 and 3 are probably way better, but I want to modify it. I want to add that backup service, so I don't have any choice other than continuing with the first option. So I'm gonna choose that. All right, so the DB service is staged and committed, and it asks me to go and to approve it myself. So I'm gonna go here, and it's online. There's nothing to approve. Okay. Can you do this yourself? I mean, it already did itself. So let's just give it a break. Okay, so after a lot of struggle, it managed to do it. So let's go and test it finally. So I'm just gonna go to here, copy it. Okay, it doesn't have a password, and that's a concerning thing. It's a public database now. I'm gonna tell it to actually do the password. Even if in other videos I didn't do this, in other videos I got it secured. So I'm just gonna tell it, please just lock it down. This is one additional prompt that I'm doing here that I didn't do in other ones, but it's because they did it by default. And just to explain, this was mostly the agent problem, not Railway's. However, Railway could have a good way to secure this. As on both AWS and on Redu, we have guardrails to not allow you to do these things. So, but it's still the agent's problem most of the time. Okay, and it's completed it. Let's go again. So is this the same URL? It's not. Okay, let's try with that. Okay. So copy it, go here, Let's try to log in. So Supabase, Supabase, and this password doesn't look correct. Yes, it's not. Okay. All right, perfect. So now it's secured. So let's try to do that harder thing now. So I'm gonna go and tell it, I want that private fork of Supabase to have one additional feature. I want in UI after database and in between is actually better, in between database and out, to have a backup button. Backups should be real. So on a persistent storage, or however Railway suggest is a best way to do this. Backups should have do a backup and restore functionality. Okay, let's see. I'm actually really not sure if it's gonna be able to do this, but I'm very curious to know what kind of backend solution it's gonna suggest. I think I really need to say something. I really like the UI of Railways. So it really looks clean, and I'm amazed how tidy it looks like. And it's minimalistic. Exactly the way I like it. Alright, it said that it's done. Let's first confirm that, and there is some issue that I'm gonna address later. So let's go to that Supabase and refresh it first. It's maybe, let's check. Okay, so I need to tell it to do a rebuild now. Because the studio is hanging. So okay, I'm gonna tell it. Okay, do a rebuild. And let's wait. Alright, it looks like it actually did it after some time. So let's go and test it out. So is this another? It should be the same. Let's just refresh it. I mean, kinda doesn't work. I mean, it did say that it's sluggish, but not broken. I do not want to go to Pro now, and I mean, dedicated CPU, I know that it would help, but I'm not sure that if that's the issue. I mean, if I go here, it says one service crashed, and if I go here, it says that this crashed. So I'm just gonna tell it to maybe look at that. So I'm gonna say, yes, I do want to commit those changes. Yes, commit those changes. Do warm up that. Actually, maybe. Yes, it took me 60 seconds, but I could actually get into it. Okay, actually it's working. Let's see. So if I click back it up, it did create a backup. Okay, but I want to confirm, is this local or where does this data live? So I want an explanation on that. I mean, it should be this probably. So Pointing times are only available for Pro plan users. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna take it as a win here because I don't want paid, but I'm gonna ask it to confirm for me. So, just commit those changes, explain our backups on separate VMs resources. So if my Supabase goes down, am I able after bringing it up to actually recover it? Just confirm. This is just because I do not fully understand how those backups work on Railways. Okay, it said that it pushed to that private Git. Let's check it. It's kind of not there. Maybe it's on a branch. Yes, it's here. Yes, 53 seconds ago. Okay. Merge it to master. So for the backup durability, it's confirmed. It's on a separate resource, on Railway service, on volume, independent of the database. So on that level, it's fine. So I just want to do one thing. I mean, there is one thing that's crashed here. So I'm just gonna go and tell it. There is also one, it's called service, that's crashed. Can you also check it? Okay, let's wait for this. All right, so that crash was actually a leftover, so we can see it there. So nothing to do with that. Okay, I can confirm that everything is literally working. So what I want to do now is just that VPN work. So I'm gonna ask it. I think it will not allow me to do, but let's see. I would like a VPN to have private access to those GitLab and Supabase. Sorry for my bad English. Okay, so here it's recommending me either Tailscale as recommended or self-hosted WireGuard. But because it doesn't expose UDP, it will need a fragile TCP tunnel workaround. I'm gonna go with second, only because I really do not want to go and make the Tailscale account. And I mean, the point of this is for agent to make my life easier. So let's keep it public too, and I can do that switch later. Okay, so the final decision, WireGuard plus VS tunnel. Because it needs VS tunnel because the plain WireGuard is impossible. Okay. So it still just does not want me to self-host WireGuard. It's telling me it's not possible. It's not just flaky, it's really bad. So it's really pushing me for Tailscale. Okay. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna do it. But I really am not in a mood to do that. So I'm gonna tell it, okay, let's do Tailscale. Tell me how to get that API key. Okay, so after creating that account there, I pasted API key here. Okay, so the Tailscale is done. I just need to go and to install this. I'll prefer if that does it for myself. Can you go and first install that to my PC instead of me going and clicking it there? Let's see if agent can do this for me. Okay, so I need to run this on my own, and because it needs a root, which is okay. This is totally acceptable. So let's do that. Let's see. Okay, and I need to do this sudo command also. Let's see. And it couldn't do it on its own, so it told me to do it again. So without spaces before it. Okay. I just did it in another terminal. Okay, so this is done. Let's do one thing. Okay, so I want it to first go and disable the public access of GitLab. First, go and disable public access of GitLab. I want to be able only over VPN to access it. Let's check it. All right, it said it's done. So let's check. This is the tailnet now. Let's try it. And for this path, it should be that. It is that. I should be able to access this. Let's see. It probably needs a little bit of time. Yes, that's it. It just needed a little bit of time to set up. Okay, I'm gonna conclude that this is working. So the next two things are the diagram. So can you generate architecture diagram of all deployed resources? Let's see if we can do that. We can write a report later and tear down everything and see the price. I'm actually very interested to see how much all this costs. All right, so architecture diagram is done and it looks fine. I mean, everything is basically there. So, okay, I'm gonna go and tell it to tear down everything and to actually write the session report on everything that we did. So I'm gonna type write a full session report on everything that we did here with timestamps and token usage and everything relevant. And also tear down all the resources. Okay, let's wait. Okay, and I forgot to ask it for the billing. How much did all of this cost, and what would be a total cost, monthly cost of this? I'm gonna rotate those passwords and everything else. I got the report, so that's nice. And let's see this also. And add that cost at the end of report. Okay. Let's wait for that. Okay. So the cost is officially from Railways MCP. Around $90 to $100 per month if it's idle, so no one is using it. And under some real load, it would be like 150 and 230. However, this is estimate. This is not a full correct assumption that is that price. So, okay. So it's telling me that I need to go and delete this myself. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I would like to summarize like my experience with Railway. So it was actually decent in a way that I really like their UI. Their UI is really good. Not this. Where is it? Aha, here. So it's so clean. Like it's enjoyable to just look at it. And it did as a full disclaimer, Railway said that Railway is a bad option for this type of project. So that's a full disclaimer on that. And I am kind of a bit frustrated with the installation because no matter how good this part was, using MCP wasn't that well. The problem was I was asked so many times that I needed to click something manually and all that stuff, which is totally against the purpose of doing it with agents. So I mean, even now I cannot delete my project. I had to go it manually. Second, the problem was, I mean, I think that it's a fair assumption to make that if you brand your product like, for example, let's see, ship software peacefully. I mean, this wasn't peaceful for me when I had so many things that I needed to additionally do other than shipping. And also deploy anything without the complexity, which wasn't really true because, I mean, the whole purpose of this video and everything was to create like a private stack. So I didn't want to have external services like Docker or Scaletail or stuff like that. And I was forced to do it. There wasn't any other option. So it did deploy everything and everything worked, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And this is just my honest read on it. I believe that if I gave it a better match of a software, it will perform better. It just, with my specific showcase, it didn't perform that well. I mean, you will see in the report after, I'm gonna do some statistics and other stuff. So we'll be able to clearly see how does it compare to other services that we did. Okay, so that's it for this video.